you have to make this an all-inclusive environment to stay in. Development, so that will mitigate any shortness of water in the development. Yes.
So, if I can come back to you, Mr. Kimotho Kimani, why did you choose to work with them?
Yeah, that's a good question. When it comes to strategic partnerships, you always want to go to someone who has a good track record. As you've heard, they've done over 1,500 projects, and as you know, Singapore is one of the countries that is known to have developed very fast. They also say back then in 1978 we were at the same level, but now as we talk, Singapore is way, way, way ahead. It's one of the countries that has the thirdest biggest fund, and yet it's the smallest country. So you can see they have a lot of experience, they know how to manage, and in terms of real estate projects, the company has been there for over 40 years, so that becomes a very big plus. Plus, we've also actually seen the work they've actually done, and we are also going to a stage whereby we wanted to get to someone who has the financial muscle, at the same time, someone who is building using a new technology in Kenya. As my colleague has just said, there's nothing new under the sun, but at least in this country, the technology they're using is actually fairly new. And that's why they're using it, they're able to develop many more units. And also, always,
It costs first to own a unit, and then how much will the whole project go for? Maybe you can say.
like a 2-bedroom is going for 4.8 million. A 3-bedroom is going for 5.8 million. Yeah.
Now the cost of the whole project from the broken point to
the gross development value of this project is $500 million US. So that's 50 billion Kenyan shillings. Yes.
and maybe how you planning to get that is quite a high number of money, like a huge sum of money. How are you planning to get all those funds?
So construction is split in three parts. There's the pre-development finance, the construction finance, and then the end user finance. The way Mr. Kimotho said is that you might have a very big demand, but a very small supply. Because in the supply chain, you have not addressed any of those three areas. So with the pre-development finance, it comes things like approvals, consultancy fees, statutory fees. So we can confidently stand in front of you and tell you that with the pre-development finance, we already have it covered in a tune of between 5 to 6 million US dollars.
Off plan.
Yes.
How much will it cost me?
You've already been given the price. Those are
So the price is for plan.
off-plan prices.
4.8 2-bedroom and 5.8 3-bedroom.
Once you break ground, the market forces now will apply. It will be first come, first serve, and then we're also going to gauge. Because as Mr. Kimotho has told you, for the 4 years they've been able to sell 800 units. Sometimes they are oversubscribed. And once a project, you start having oversubscription, you as a developer, you need to make a decision. As partners, you need to make a decision. Do we jack up the price just a bit? Obviously, we're not going to sell these houses at 20 million at the end of the day, but we want as many Kenyans to come and own the units.
So there's one last question for, maybe you can answer this one, then I'll ask Mr. Kimotho another one. There's this issue in Kenya where people are building houses, but these houses are not being taken up because some people don't have the mortgage plan that they need to get into these houses. Some people don't have the necessary. The prices are being put at cost that the normal Mwananchi, the Mwananchi that the government is saying we should build houses for, cannot necessarily afford. Maybe what are you doing to make sure that the normal Mwananchi, the Wanjiko outside there who doesn't have a home, can get the home?
So you see, today, Mr. Kimani Kimotho is from UK, and while he was there, he spoke to our other partners who have large equity funds. The banks. Once the banks sell it, they can be able to actually lend at a very subsidized rate. And that's what we are.
One last question to Mr. CEO, Mr. Kimotho. The meeting today, we had a lot of circles. How important to reaching out to people to take this house?
Yeah, circles. Where we are divided circles, have had a very big challenge. They have members, but they are unable to deliver. Because of two main reasons. One, the circles where they are set up, they don't have the ability to come up to develop a project in terms of development capacity, in terms of development management, because the secretariat has very few members who are basically probably clerks. So we come in, we are trying now to encourage them. How do you deal with this problem? The few circles that have tried to do that, they've done it, but they've done it the wrong way. They've ended up in the same situation whereby you build houses, but they don't match what your members need. So for us, we bring in development management, which is going to help them to establish the exact need of their members. That is through feasibility studies. And that's actually one of the key things that has really helped us a lot, business development. Once we give them that, the other thing is financing. They are, as Bwana has just said, financing, they lack what we call pre-development finance. Because again, they don't have, again, those sources. That is funding that you have to get from an investor who is ready to take a risk. Because you can finance someone pre-development finance and the project does not take off. That means your money is gone. So again, circles are not ready to take that risk. Then there's a construction finance. Construction finance, you can only get it when you are ready, can prove you have an experienced developer, and also you have an end financier who will come and help you exit. So those are the two main problems the circles have had: development capacity and finance. And now as they come here, we are trying to help them and show them ways of how they can give them their members houses.
All right, very interesting report there by James Kimani, and indeed very, very insightful. Now we're about to take a short break, but of course the question of the day has been, how much capital do you think is enough to start a business? How much capital at TV47KE and at Lucy_Riley with the hashtag DaysCounter. We're about to take a short break, but when we come back, we will dive into matters automobile. We're going to talk a little bit about your car, and we have a very entrepreneurial guest in studio who will shed some insights on this topic. Do stay with us.
Sasa wakati ilikuwa red, ilianza kutoa tumaji.
Well, the type does not matter. The liquid and the tablet.
Nipatie simu ama nipatie pesa ama ni mdunge.
Shida inakuanga ni madoo.
Je, wanaipata wapi?
Asante.
Unaona hapa kwenye hiyo hapa na hoja.
Aha.
Hiyo ndio geti yao.
Oh, hapo Twende majamaa. Twende.
Katika kaunti 40 mbalimbali, watu wana mitazamo tofauti.
Wajana ni wengi. Maisha kama huyu amekataa, tafute mbele.
Kisiasa,
naweza sema shida yako kwenye sheria ya Kenya ni idara ya mahakama.
Jamii.
Sasa anamdanganya na ako na familia yake. Sasa hawezi chunga familia na chunge sana.
Mitindo pamoja.
Nikikaa nikwambie wewe unipeleke na
rieng. Tunatembea pamoja katika kila kitongoji kusikiliza. Ungana nami Tony Gumzo pamoja ndani ya 47 mtaani. Hapa TV47 sauti yetu.
Hello, thank you so much for staying with us and joining us on the day's counter. My name is Lucy. I do have the question of the day, which is, how much capital do you think is enough to start a business? How much capital do you think is enough to start a business? Send in your replies on Twitter to @TV47KE and @Lucy_Riley with the hashtag #DaysCounter. Right, so today's topic of discussion is revolving around the automobile industry, and it's a very broad topic indeed. As a matter of fact, we have a guest in studio who goes by the name Martin Mugo, who owns a really big business and started off with a really small amount of money and grew to a multi-million Kenya shilling company. So welcome to the studio. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Thank you for actually coming on short notice. Right, so talk to us about Autotronics. This is your business and your company, and you've been in business for a while. So talk to us about when you got started and what prompted you to make a decision to go along this particular line of automobiles.
All right. First of all, my name is Martin, director at Autotronic Services, where we offer security solutions. At Autotronics, we've been in business for the last 5 years, going to 6. And yeah, it's been quite a journey. And but up to now, it's been fun for me because I'm into this business because I love anything to do with cars, and hopefully one day we'll have our own brand of cars made in Kenya. So yes, at Autotronics, we provide various services from key programming, which is our major core business, and key programming entails one, unlocking your car. If let's say you've lost the keys to your car, if the keys are inside your car, we can retrieve them. If some instances, some people in a car, we can be able to come and unlock in record time. Yeah, we have a mobile service van which can site.
All right.
Yes.
Just before you go on,
yes.
I mean, this is very interesting when you talked about locking your baby in the car, and this happens, you know, quite often when you lock your keys in the car. Yes. So how do you actually retrieve the keys? Do you break into the car? What do you do?
Actually, we have depending on the type of car, we can unlock it using techniques without damaging the car. So over the years, we've gained experience in that field, and we can be able to unlock actually all types of cars within record time. Yes, even between like 2 minutes and 1 hour, depending on the model. Yes.
Right. Speaking of record time, I actually noticed on your website, one of the customers or clients you had was applauding you for taking about 10 minutes to unlock their car and actually get them the key.
Yes.
So when you talk about key programming and replacing lost keys, what goes into the process of making another key within that short period of time?
What goes into that is experience. Let's say, because this field is a bit technical and it needs quite a bit of experience. Because sometimes when I started off, that was almost 6 years ago, there's a task which took me then like around 4 hours. Now it takes me less than 15 minutes. So to be able to provide in the industry in Kenya, we had to experience in this field. So depending on the type of car, so you can be able to provide a very fast service. Yes.
The question of the day actually revolves around how much capital you think is enough to start a business. How much money did you use to start your business?
At the beginning, I actually did not have money. I went to my dad, borrowed 15,000, and then started from there. And through online forums, online YouTube, viewing what other people are doing started from there, and started offering diagnosis solutions to my clients, which has now grown to various other services over time. So on my part, I'd say there's not really an ideal amount of money enough to start a business. All you need is mostly the passion to do the business and the idea, and you have to have the drive to get to what you want.
All right, so the passion, the idea, the drive, and the plan as well, of course, right? Yes. I mean, if you can have 15,000 bob and probably it's not enough. Yes. But tell me, what did you do?
A very small diagnosis machine, which it has a very high sentimental value up to now. I'll never even dispose of it because it really helped me to get to where I am. So I'd say it's I don't know.
Right. So I want
softwares from either from Russia, from UK, from Poland, depending on.
Talk to me about loans. Have you found yourself having to take loans time and time again? I mean, we have so many loan organizations and young people trying to get into business and end up probably taking loans to do other things. So how has that helped you? Have you actually taken any loans to actually grow or scale out your business across the years? Or have you solely been depending on, the proceeds from the business?
What I'd advise people, not even mostly young people, when starting off their business, it's good to start with what you have, other than starting with a loan, because at the end of the month you have to pay it, and business does not come like pap. You have to really work to get clients, and it's actually good to grow from small scale up to the scale that you can be able to even take a big loan and comfortably repaying without any stress. So it's not really. I'd advise people not to take loans to start a business, but to expand an already existing business. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So basically, you should look forward to growing organically.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Over time,
Yes.
and probably apply a little bit of patience.
Yes.
Talk to me about the gap. Where is the gap and where is opportunity in this gap, especially moving forward into the future?
In whatever we're doing, because if you look at the automotive sector, it's innovating. Like the cars that are being produced now, some are the technologies that are in them are really wow. So it's a good industry to get into, because it's changing. It's changing, and it's changing really fast. So there'll be no enough technicians in this field. So I'd advise people to get in.
To get in.
Yes.
Right. Maybe just perhaps for a final question, talk to me about technology. Part of the things that you actually do in terms of component programming, as you mentioned to me earlier on, is, when you import the spare parts, or when you're trying to repair a car, you actually have to program it and use certain technology or software in order to actually make it suitable to the vehicle, and then now use it. So talk to me about the technology. What role is it playing, and how are you able to really make sure that you're up to speed or up to par with what's necessary?
And I'd urge the government to maybe start something like to regulate, because it's really somewhat a dangerous field, because if somebody has the knowledge that we have as electronics, it can really do damage. Yes, on let's say steal a car, for example. So we really need regulation on that. Yes.
All right, so there is no regulation that actually currently exists, so that already is an opportunity right there. And indeed, that was very insightful. Thank you so much, Martin Mugo, for joining us in studio. It's time to take a very short break. Do stay with us, and remember, the question of the day is, how much capital do you think is enough to start a business? How much capital do you think is enough to start a business? Send in your replies to @TV47KE and @Lucy_Riley with the hashtag DaysCounter. We'll be right back after the break.
Sasa wakati ilikuwa red, ndio ilianza kutoa tumaji.
Well, the type does not matter. The liquid and the tablet.
Nipatie simu ama nipatie pesa ama ni mdunge.
Kijana ndio huyo alifariki. vitu kama bucket na zile ingredients tunatumia. Ilianza na kama 1,200.
Watu wanaulizanga kwa soko, hii kitunguu nikioga nayo kwani inanifanyia nini kwa mwili yangu?
Kwa siku kama hii ya kuoga huwa tunauza vipande 400.
Dunia ina machungu si haba. Kutelekezwa.
Baba Totoa alianza kuleta shida tu wakati nilienda nikaambiwa na daktari mtoto si nomo.
Mama alifukuzwa huko juu ya kuzaa watoto viwete.
Maumivu.
I was diagnosed that I had a spinal injury. Muangalie tu hivi, nasikia ile pain. Wewe uliua, kwa nini usiwaambie siku aliachiliwe?
Kumbukumbu za kutisha.
Kulingana na vile niliona damu ilikuwa mingi hapa.
Ndio nikaja nikapata ajali pale Kaligwini.
Dhuluma.
Kama ningekubali kufukuza bibi na watoto, ningekuwa mmoja wa jamii.
Ni painful tu sana.
Usikose makala ya Dunia ya Pili kila wiki kwenye runinga yako ya TV47, ukisimuliwa nami Wabogo Yusuf.
Katika kaunti 47 mbali, watu wana mitazamo tofauti.
Wajana ni wengi, kama tafuta mwingine maisha isonge mbele.
Tunasema shida kubwa iliyo sheria ya Kenya na mahakama.
Masuala ya jamii.
Nganya na akona familia yake. Haezi chunga familia sana.
Mitindo pamoja.
Nikikaa nikwambie, wewe unipeleke na Rieng.
Nipeleke na Rieng. Rieng. Tunatembea pamoja katika kila kitongoji kusikiliza semi zao. Ungana nami Tony Mwirigi tupige gumzo pamoja ndani ya 47 mtaani, hapa TV47, macho na sauti yetu.
Dunia ina machungu si haba. Kutelekezwa.
Baba Totoa alianza kuleta shida tu wakati nilienda nikaambiwa na daktari mtoto si nomo.
Mama alifukuzwa huko juu ya kuzaa watoto viwete.
Maumivu.
I was diagnosed that I had a spinal injury. Muangalie tu hivi, nasikia ile pain. Wewe uliua, kwa nini usiwaambie siku aliachiliwe?
Kumbukumbu za kutisha.
Kulingana na vile niliona damu ilikuwa mingi hapa.
Ndio nikaja nikapata ajali pale Kaligwini.
Dhuluma.
Kama ningekubali kufukuza bibi na watoto, ningekuwa mmoja wa jamii.
Ni painful tu sana.
Usikose makala ya Dunia ya Pili kila wiki kwenye runinga yako ya TV47, ukisimuliwa nami Wabogo Yusuf.
So much for deciding to stay with us at the day's counter. Remember, the question of the day, as always, is how much capital do you think is enough to start a business? How much capital do you think is enough to start a business? Send in your replies to @TV47KE and @Lucy_Riley, and with the hashtag Days Counter on Twitter. Right, so Thank you very much once again. In studio with us is a fashion designer who goes by the name Philbert Mkwiche, and he's absolutely an entrepreneur in the fashion industry and has quite a little bit of insight for us. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much for having me. I'm
Good.
doing fine.
You look good.
Thank you very much.
Great. So talk to us a little bit about the fashion industry. I mean, you've been in this industry for quite a while. You mentioned earlier 8 years.
8 years, yeah.
Talk to me about this. When did you begin and how did you make that decision to go in this direction?
I began in the year 2012 when I finished my O-level. And when I was I'd cleared from 4, you know, between that time before you join university, what you decide to do, that's like the prime time to start knowing things, what you want to work with. So I was just at home, and mostly I used to like to wake up in the morning, tell my mom, this suit goes on with this, tell my dad that shirt goes on with this tie nicely. So after some time, my mom was like, why didn't you just pick this up? But I was like, no, let me first focus on my university degree, then I'll pick it up later if it works. So after some time, I started like getting clients from school who were always like, we're intrigued, I like your blazer, I like what you're wearing. But that time I didn't even want to go like to start a business or focus on it that much. So I started selling like scarves in school. So I used to buy like scarves worth 20 shillings or 50, then I sell to school around 500, 600. So I make some coin. So from that I saw, okay, this makes I can make some money out of it, and I took it up from there. Yeah.
All right. Talk to us a little bit about where the money is. Where is the money in this industry? Is it like in a specific line, in a particular clothing, or the accessories? Or talk to me about that.
No, I think in mostly what I've gathered from the fashion industry, you just need to identify your niche. The market is so huge for everyone. Everyone. There are a lot of fashion designers coming up each and every day. But the thing is, if you have identified your kind of market, your niche market, trust me, you'll never run out of money. You'll always be in business.
Right. And who is your niche market?
I'd say for now, mostly corporate. I have a lot of corporate clients. When I was coming up, I think I tried to associate myself with a mature kind of crowd. And also, I'm not saying like the other guys, I left them out, but I used to get more exposure in like events I used to go to. I think I also related well with mature kind of people, and from there it's when I started picking up and understanding their style, what they are lacking, what they need in the market. Also, not trying to make them feel so out of the design world, but also bringing in new things that they can work with. Yeah.
Right. Why does looking good or feeling good, and even your appearance, why does it matter? Should it matter?
Yeah, because you're a walking brand. You sell your own market. You sell yourself by walking. How you look, it's the only easy way to convince someone you'd look nice in a green blazer. Because if I just tell you look nice in a green blazer without even seeing one, you wouldn't trust me, right?
Right.
But right now, if you see this blazer, you'd like it. Yeah.
Do people understand that they are walking brands, and do they really understand how powerful that is?
No, I don't think most people do, because the kind of people who are getting into the fashion industry, most of them are working all in all because they want to get money. They're not fashion entrepreneurs, they're just entrepreneurs. They're just people who are in it because they know they're going to meet maybe a certain celebrity, or they're doing it for the clout. And at the end of the day, if you're doing that, you're not going to keep up with the pace of the showbiz industry like that. At the end of, if you have it in you, wake up in the morning and you know you're going to make an outfit, that has already pushed you to go to work. But if you're waking up in the morning knowing you're going to make money, you'll end up just making anything just because at the end of the day you need to sell something and put money in the bank. But I would wake up, go make something. I've made an outfit. It maybe did not sell that day, but the day it's going to sell, maybe I come and sell like 7 of them. You see? Yeah.
Speaking of, it doesn't sell on this day and then maybe another day it sells more. Does fashion really pay? There are lots of fashionpreneurs out there, and sometimes you'll find that fashion entrepreneurs are struggling and it's actually very tough to penetrate the market. So does it really pay?
Yeah, for me, I am not complaining. It's really doing well. But there are challenges, yes, here and there as you're going up the ladder. But I'd say most people I see who are finding the same challenges of making money and identifying why the industry is not working with them is because they try to crowd the market too much with the same thing. And these people who try to crowd the market too much will make outfits all in the name of making money, as I said before. And if you do this, you are going to make similar things which are not up to standard, which are not up to quality, because you want to make money. And by that, you'll find many people, all these people will have to find the same clientele to buy such stuff, because they had not identified their niche market. You have not, you'd be known, maybe Philbert, you're known for such kind of blazers. Another designer is known because of such kind of gowns. There you have to identify your market. If I sleep and wake up, I know Philbert is the only person who can make the blazer I want, you see?
Right.
But there are people who have crowded the market so much, they don't have enough people to dress. So you'll see they're struggling to serve the same clients each and every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about numbers. What does it take in order to get into the fashion business? People out there don't really have a fashion style. As you said, they don't have the passion, and they are trying to penetrate this market. What does it really take to get into it? And perhaps then again, tell us, how much did you spend to get into this business? Because this is our question of the day. How much money did it cost you?
As for me, I started small by just saving a couple after when I started selling them tumbas in school and all that. I saved a couple of shillings, started buying fabric, making outfits. And then there I started learning what things are needed of importance in the fashion industry. So they will start investing in buying a machine. A machine only for sewing costs you almost 50,000. Yes. So by that you have to save small and try as much as possible to sell the best you can to get that kind of money. Right. But most people will struggle all in all because they'll want to outsource tailors, they'll want to outsource people, and that's where you find people say tailors are liars, because you'll be a designer, you have a creative idea already, you go buy the fabric, but you don't have a tailor to do it, you don't have your own machine to do it, so you have to identify someone maybe who says has the skill. Right. You give them the outfit to make, but they don't produce what you had in mind. Right. So you see, one outfit you can lose like 10 people because of just making here.
All right.
Yeah.
So what it takes to actually thrive in the fashion industry is you need tailors.
You need skill.
Skill.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to have it in you. You need to have passion. You need to have the drive. Yeah.
Right. And there are quite a few challenges that are in this industry, and you've mentioned quite a few of them. But for someone who is actually just getting started, they don't have that 50,000 to buy that sewing machine, and they probably want to start. I mean, what kind of money or what do they need to do in order to get started?
I think you can start out just by outsourcing or getting particular tailors who know their kind of work. First, try out someone with just a small outfit. See what they can bring out. Sit down with this tailor, understand each other, try make it to perfection. Once you do that, you can start selling it out there. And when you just start selling just one piece, at the end of the day, in a few months to come, you will have saved enough money because you have identified your tailor already. You guys are par, you can even sleep and wake up and still make the same. Yeah.
Right. Sorry to cut you short. And for time we have had together, and I'm sure this conversation has been very cool. And indeed, this has been the much for joining us. I have been yours, Lucy Riley, and tomorrow, same we shall be here to bring you business information and money. Thank you for coming.
Na machungu si haba, kutelekezwa.
Baba watoto alianza kuleta shida tu wakati nilienda nikaambiwa na mama
alifukuza huko juu ya kusaa watoto viwete.
I was diagnosed that I had a spinal injury. Nasikia ile pain. Wewe waliachiliwe.
Kumbukumbu za kutisha.
Kulingana na venye niliona damu ilikuwa mingi hapa.
Ndio nikaja nikawini.
Dhuluma.
Kama ningekubali kufukuzwa na watoto
ni painful tu sana.
Usikose makala ya Dunia Pili kila wiki ya TV47 ukisimuliwa nami Wabogoyu.
Katika kaunti 40 mbalimbali, watu wana mitazamo tofauti.
Wajana ni wengi. Maisha kama huyu amekukataa, tafuta mwingine na maisha isonge mbele.
Kisiasa,
naweza sema shida kubwa sheria